Ramble.
Ladies and gentlemen across the globe, it's your favorite 4+1 podcast. That's right, it's the TryPod, starring America's darling Ned Fulmer.
Hello.
Internet cutie pie Zach Kornfeld.
Hey, all you cool cats and kittens out there.
The scientist Eugene Yang.
Hola.
And of course, our very own beautiful Miles.
Hey.
And I'm Keith, to round out the bunch. It is, we're still in quarantine. We are still doing our podcast from home, but we're trying to maintain good spirits and find ways to keep ourselves entertained. So let's check in. How's everybody doing?
I feel like I'm like hitting my stride, you know? I'm keeping the negative feelings at bay. Once I passed the 14-day mark and knew that any minor if I just like sneeze, it's probably It was dust rather than you have the virus. But it's still scary. But I've been making the most of it. I went and got batch cocktails. My brother-in-law's a bartender at Mr. O's, so we got batch cocktails from their bar, and then had ourselves a cocktail night. That was pretty fun. We've been FaceTiming our friends for happy hours.
Phone calls are back, baby.
Yeah. Phone calls are back.
It's Xenon. We're living in Xenon times, finally, where the primary version of communication is through a little screen with your friends.
Yeah, you can just FaceTime somebody, drop in, and it's not weird. Normally it'd be like, why are you FaceTiming me? We haven't talked for months.
I don't care for the circumstances, but I've definitely had reunions with friends that I haven't spoken to in years. All my college friends, we have a group of 9 of us who are very close knit, and I'm not gonna lie, we really just don't all together talk that much anymore. And spontaneously, as you said, Ned, last night we did the 9 of us in a little Brady Bunch quad, looking all around at each other, and we just hung out for an hour and a half. We didn't do anything, we just hung out, and it was comforting and nice to have each other.
Y'all should do a monthly newsletter. Me and my college buds, we've been doing it for 10 years.
Whoa!
We write a little blurb about how we're doing, and we rotate who gets to compile it and write any notes. We've announced babies, we've announced big moments in our lives, moves, career changes. It's we have over 100. What's 10 times 12, right? 120. We have over 120 editions of this newsletter that's been published.
How many people? So how many people are tuning into the newsletter?
6.
That is good. Yeah. That's pretty good.
You got to expand your readership, man. You're putting all that work into it and no growth. You're stagnant. We gotta scale this thing up.
Yeah, we're gonna be the Daily Planet.
Maybe it's time to call it quits, man.
Read all about it.
10 years.
I mean, you expect the first year you're going to see some losses, but after 10 years, we got to see something yielded out of this.
Do you have any sponsors on it? Or?
Yeah, it's papered with ads, right? Just like a free iPod Nano.
Dozens of ads. It's all just the same ad for the college fried chicken joint.
Yeah, that's good. That's very good.
Remember this place? You get a breaded Parmesan sandwich. It's a nice way to keep in touch. And sometimes it's almost like journaling. Do you guys ever journal? Have you guys ever done journaling?
Nah.
I did when I was a boy. I think the closest
When I was a boy.
When I was a baby boy, I did. The closest I got, this was revealed in the Try Guys staff get to know you thing. Well, no, I don't think it was, but I write a letter to Santa every year for my parents.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah, I don't think it made the cut.
No, but so every year. That's the closest I get to journaling.
Patreon exclusive.
Yeah, that one's direct to Patreon.
When I was a boy, when I was a child, I would buy these. When I was a young boy, I would buy these beautiful notebooks, but I would stress out so much about the first page because as someone who has always been a narcissist, I was convinced that years down the line, my childhood journals would be published. I'm talking when I was in kindergarten and first grade. I had that in my mind. I'm like, well, it has to be perfect the first draft because I'm writing this in pen. And so I would just obsess and freak out over what to write, and I really only ever wrote maybe 2 pages, and then I'd put the notebook away for years, and then I would get another. I'm like, I should do this, and then the same thing would happen again and again. So no, I did not.
Feels like a reasonable fear for a kindergartner, though.
Yeah,
just like the permanence. The permanence of pen on paper.
The permanence of life has always terrified me. That's like the thing. I want tattoos, but where do they go? And they last forever. I mean, that's the whole thing of a tattoo. But just the idea of permanence has really freaked me out forever.
So as a kindergartner, Zach, did you always know that you'd be internet famous?
If this was a thing back then, I'm sure. I don't know. I think I oscillated between a ton of different get famous quick dreams. I wanted to be a rock star. I wanted to be an astronaut. I wanted to be a movie star.
All of which take years of hard work.
But
yeah,
also,
no.
Other than like the first couple astronauts, they aren't famous anymore.
Well, that's why I
Nobody
gave
gives a
that
shit.
dream up.
I think they should be. I think we should be like, they should be going to red carpets. They should be invited to Met Galas. Be like, oh, also one of the fucking people who've been to space is here.
Yeah.
How was that? That's an interview I would like on the red carpet.
It's really only the first of any level, and then that's it.
Even Buzz Aldrin is like, he's like, yeah, but he's like the other guy. It's like, Buzz Aldrin was there. He's amazing.
Isn't he more famous for like punching a dude in the face?
Oh yeah,
Did he?
that's a good clip.
Yeah, he punched a guy in the face who was a moon landing denier. And he's like, you idiot. He punched him.
It's great.
As like a pretty old man, he just punched him in the face.
Yeah.
That's great.
It is
That'd be
great.
Pretty
Trolls should be
frustrating. You
punched.
like risk your life on this amazing journey, and someone's like, "Nah, I was in a Hollywood studio." Yeah, I'd punch that guy.
Well, Buzz was just upset because he's like, are you saying I'm not a good actor? Fuck you.
Eugene, how you doing this week? You look good in your gradient color hoodie.
cute.
You look real
Yeah.
cute again.
Oh, thanks. My dog ate my other earphones.
Classic excuse.
Classic excuse. Yeah, I've been good. I've been working a lot. Yeah, I've been like getting like 3 hours of sleep a night. So
Oh
it's
my
been
God.
shitty. Yeah, it's been bad.
How?
But it's good. I feel productive, but I also feel like doing that and balancing our work is making me a little crazy because it's all kind of in a weird, surreal vacuum. Yeah, otherwise, still staring into the existential abyss, enjoying that. But it's good, yeah. I'm sleepy a lot now.
I'm sure you found this challenge, as we all have, of how to be productive in a time that is cripplingly overwhelming, emotionally draining, you name it. And I don't know that I've found the right balance yet.
I found it helpful to fuel that energy towards something. Like you have to, I think, like mentally rechannel it or redirect it, because I think a lot of this ingestion of news and media is being turned inward, And I think that if you can like expel it outward in a productive way, that's certainly very difficult. But I've also found it helpful to do it at night, which is weird because I don't know. I've heard from a lot of people that they've actually had better sleep and eating schedules, because you're just at home all the time. So I was like, fuck that. I'm gonna be productive. I'm gonna get up at midnight and work. And it's worked actually. Yeah.
You're nocturnal.
So I don't think anyone I don't think people should.
Bro, you said you just got 3 hours of sleep a night. That's that. I don't care how productive you are. That's not healthy.
No, but it's a perfect time to sort of shut off like everything. I feel like people are wanting to FaceTime and they're wanting to have family time. And
Bruh, if you don't have good sleep hygiene, what you
Bruh.
even doing, bruh?
Bro, sleep
Yeah.
hygiene's important. Did you know it's the way that your mind forms memories?
well, okay, here's a better. So people shouldn't work at midnight, but I woke up today at 7 a.m. to work.
Yeah,
so
that's good.
That's what I do.
that gave me like, here's a schedule. I'm going to do this. But it certainly was very difficult the first couple of weeks, but I think I found my groove.
Yeah, I think finding whatever schedule works for you is probably the only way you can create any sort of like home life distinction, right? Because there's, especially being like a creative person, there's so much that we do that it's like, oh, well, I could kind of do this. It's like I could do this outside of work hours. It's tempting to just it's something you're passionate about. Oh, I want to do this all the time. But that makes the whole day bleed together. And then every waking hour seems like an hour where you could be working. So like having times where it's like, this is my work time and then this is my lifetime, and creating a distinction, I think is...
And then this is my lifetime where I watch Lifetime movies.
Yeah, oh yeah, exactly.
right,
Your lifetime, that's sacred. That's
big
worth
life.
waking up at midnight for.
Do you guys have one thing every day that you look forward to? Because I feel like that's helping me get through the quarantine. And I'm like, when I wake up tomorrow, I'm going to be able to have some coffee. I'm going to be able to play Animal Crossing for an hour while my girlfriend's still asleep, and before I have to like get any work done. So
So the time you look forward to, Miles, is the time where your girlfriend is not awake yet.
Also, all the wonderful time with her. But I'm like, that I know is going to happen every day. I'm going to have a little
It's a
coffee.
great idea. I don't have that. Keith, you do?
I have on all my little to-do lists every day, I put in one line that says, take a puzzle break, where I get to go work on my puzzle. I've been working on this 2,000-piece puzzle for like a week and a half. It is so hard. It's Star Wars, which is great, but it's very difficult. And now I'm in the place where it's like I just have to fill out the space, which is obviously super daunting. And you can't. There's just stars. So instead of looking for like colors on the pieces, you're literally looking for the shape of the missing piece and then trying to find that shape. But it's like, I think what that means for me is like little victories. You know, I had a little victory today. I woke up at 7 a.m. because yesterday I called 6 grocery stores and nobody had toilet paper. But Albertsons said they would have some this morning. So I woke up. I let the first hour, you know, they'd say the first hour is for senior citizens, older people who need to shop. So I let them have 7 to 8. But at 8:01, I was there and I bought toilet paper. I did it. I feel like a winner. I also bought baking powder, which was out everywhere else as well. So it was a big. I'm ready. I feel good today. I'm up. I feel productive. I gave notes on an edit. I am crushing this week.
Supply
this week feels
chain
good so
coming
far.
through. We're back, baby.
Yeah.
You know, can we talk about toilet paper for one quick moment?
Toilet break.
We texted about this, and I'm curious. You guys still having the weirdest poops in quarantine? Because I'm eating healthy. I'm eating great. But my body is like, what's going on? And I don't know if it's the stress or what, but it's wringing me out in a way that I have not been wrung before.
Well, for me, I'm eating food that I don't normally eat. In some ways, it's like eating more frozen food because I have to buy my groceries 1 to 2 weeks at a time. But also, I got all the cool H Mart stuff, and I think my stomach's just not ready for some of these like new Asian soups. But most of it's been okay. Sometimes it's a little crazy, and then sometimes I'm like, why is it crazy for me and it's not crazy for Becky? Because we're eating the same food now. It used
That's
to be
what I'm
we
talking
ate different
about.
food. We're eating the same food, and she's fine. And I some things are crazy for me. Without going into detail.
Yeah, my poops have been crazy, but also, so I'm officially attempting to get a 6-pack in 6 weeks. I'm working on
awesome.
a video. It's going to be 6-pack in 6 weeks, and I did my interview with my trainer on Friday. And here's what he said. Let me break it down. It was heartening because I thought I was going to have to cut out alcohol completely, like cut out all like sugar and everything. He had a much more like everything in moderation approach. But still, he was saying instead of 2 glasses of wine a night, which has been our quarantine routine, he's like maybe 1 glass every other night. That's healthy, but going to be rough on my social life.
Yeah.
Or lack thereof. But then also he was like, instead of like 2 eggs and 2 pieces of bread every morning, maybe 1 egg and a half piece of bread. And I was like, whoa, that doesn't seem like enough food for me. Yikes. And then he was saying like, oh, like instead of like pasta for lunch and dinner, maybe a little bit of pasta and then a salad or like a fish. And then I made a fish salad, but then I also put blue cheese on it. And he said, cheese has lots of fat in it. And I was like, bro, I'm feeling so many feelings right now. You said everything in moderation, but now it's also no blue cheese. And it's, I'm having an adjustment period.
And what did your trainer say about how much you should poop?
He said, keep pooping like normal. But
Okay,
so
cool,
far
cool,
I
cool.
haven't noticed
Cool.
any changes
hold it
with
in.
my pooping.
Yeah.
Don't hold it in. Cool. I
And
just
it
want
is
to get
like
that out to the
clean
world. I
eating.
just need to know that the four of us, I'm not counting you out, Miles, but you weren't on our group thread. I just need to know that we're normal. I just need to know that this is something we're all going through. So drop me a line. Let me know if your movements have been weird.
I want to be the ringleader for a second and bring all three of those conversations together.
Yeah.
Because Ned wanted me to do the abs thing with him, which I said no, because I need to keep drinking alcohol during quarantine. The reason why my poops are weird is because I realized that half of my diet is coffee and wine. And then the one thing I look forward to every day, Keith, is the time. It's become like the only marker of time for me is the moment when I switch from coffee to wine. And it's weird because those two things typically don't meet when you go work in an office.
Yeah.
Right.
You have coffee in the morning and then you have water and then you go home and maybe have wine. And now you're just at home.
Up or down.
Oh my God.
Up
You know
or
what?
down.
You know what I've determined? I think everyone else might have this. It's exactly sometime between 3 to 6 p.m. the wine comes out. And you're just
4
like,
o'clock.
mine started around 6 and has been creeping closer to 3 p.m. When I'm like, what time is it? Oh, I'm still working and I'm drinking my coffee. So that's why my poops are weird, because I don't habitually eat breakfast and lunch, which I realize is carried over even now. So I'm only having one big dinner and then only coffee and wine. That's why the poops are weird.
That's truly
Yeah.
the grand unifying theory of podcast conversations. You just looped all three
That was
things
good.
full circle.
Wow.
Yeah, I just
That
incepted
Venn
it.
diagram is just a circle.
I've been trying to keep the wine time at 5, but I think it's crept towards 3 sometimes, especially on the
Becky
weekends.
and I, for the last 2 Saturdays, because we're home, we have fully gotten what I like to call club drunk, which is like as if we were out partying with like 100 friends, but we're like going to bed and we're like, whoa, I didn't realize we drank so much. And this last one we were playing Jackbox games with Zach. And the week before that, it was just Becky and I, and we FaceTimed like 3 people. But in that course, we just were drinking cocktails. We're like, let's have another cocktail.
We had a digital game night that started at like 8, I think. And Keith,
Yeah.
I didn't notice that you were sloshed, but after about maybe 3 games, you were like, oh, we gotta go. We've been drinking for about 5 hours. Okay, bye, everybody. I tried to do the math in my head.
We started the.
That's funny. Yeah, Zach invited me, and I was very excited for game night. And then I ultimately decided not to do it because we had our club night on Friday, so we were a little rough that Saturday. But also, is it weird to say that I was feeling kind of low energy and antisocial up in this time where you're constantly struggling with loneliness and being antisocial all the time? We put the baby to bed. We were kind of tired, and we were like, I don't really feel like trying to come up with witty Jackbox game things right now. Let's just watch TV and go to bed early.
We almost backed out. It's like, no, we should do this. We can watch TV literally always. We should do this, and I was glad we did.
It's the one social event of the season.
Yeah,
I'm actually finding a weird thing from this quarantine is that I feel like I'm busier than ever. And what I mean by that is that I don't hang out with people much during the week. Monday through Friday, I probably only go out maybe 2 nights a month as is. And then Maggie and I will have like a nice Saturday or Sunday during the day activity, enjoy the sunshine, come back home, spend most of my weekdays working. But now everybody wants to just FaceTime. Everybody wants to hang out. Yesterday alone, I had 3 different, my high school friends, my college friends, and my family all wanted to do a FaceTime game sesh hangout, which takes about 2 hours. I also have this pottery wheel, so I'm trying to carve out time for that, trying to carve out time for Maggie. And, we're working a ton. We're doing 2 podcasts a week. We're filming 3 videos. We're releasing 3 videos a week, which means we're filming all these vlogs. So I'm like, I don't know. I'm finding that my social calendar, while distanced, is getting filled up in a way that I am not used to. And it's kind of starting to get a little overwhelming. I need to start saying no to all these FaceTime calls.
There's that. Okay, I don't know if this is being picked up. I just need to interject that the recycling guy is right outside my window, and he is crushing He's crushing cans out there. It is super loud for me, but I don't know if it's being picked up. But if it looks like I'm really distracted, it's because the recycling man is just bam, bam, big old garbage cans.
Wes gets so excited for trash day.
Yeah. Oh my God. No, I was gonna say the same thing, Zach. I feel like I don't talk to anybody, but I'm like constantly FaceTiming. I do feel that social exhaustion at the end of the day because like I'm also talking to my parents. I'm reaching out to relatives. I'm freaking balling out. Are you guys on House Party?
Just re-downloaded. I was on it like 3 years ago, and me and my friends were like, "This is awesome." Then we're like, "This is not worth keeping on our phone."
Yeah.
But I re-downloaded it, sending out some waves.
Mm-hmm. It's good for quarantine for sure. And like, I mean, really, like, I'm also like talking to friends I haven't had because I'm playing online video games with them and like getting chats going. I'm playing D&D. I'm playing like 3 different
D&D.
Yeah, dude,
Cool.
it's really fun. We're playing 3 different D&D campaigns because like 3 different groups of friends were like, "Hey, we're gonna like pick up this campaign where we left off 4 months ago." Yeah. It's I have.
Do you guys think the generation that's growing up with this is going to call themselves the quarantines?
Oh.
Wow.
That's pretty
a
good.
boy band
No.
better get on that now.
No, Zach.
But yeah, I think for sure the coronavirus will just innately shape this generation the way that the 2008 financial crisis did for us, the way that September 11th did to a lesser extent us, but probably more so people that were a little older.
Looking forward to every single pilot and short film being about the quarantine in about a year.
Oh
Oh,
boy.
yeah. Yeah.
Going back a little bit, Eugene, you were talking about, finding ways to channel all of these negative feelings somehow into a positive. And I don't know that I've found the perfect balance yet. I think I'm probably still ingesting too much news and podcasts and all that. But the one thing that I have found that's been a fun, goofy positive is doing movie live streams on my Instagram. So one of our first week of quarantine coincided with the release of Cats. And so for me and about 4,000 to 5,000 people, I watched the movie live on my Instagram and brought different guests in to talk to me about it. And it was like, I don't know, I think it's just a really nice thing that allowed me to for 2 hours to just check my brain out of the modern hellscape of life and dive into the modern hellscape that is Cats. But I think it's really important, and I keep trying to remind myself how important it is to smile, to have an escape, and then to provide that for other people when possible. So I'm going to be doing movies weekly on my Instagram. I'm going to be doing Josie and the Pussycats this week if y'all want to come
awesome.
party.
Wow.
Have you guys had anything like that has made you happy and that you found? I mean, I guess our videos are that.
Yeah, I've really been enjoying doing the vlogs. I mean, a lot of what I do to kind of take my mind off things is to do something fun with my family, and being able to film that and kind of put that sort of lifestyle content in our videos has been really neat. Like this on Sunday, our garden has been pretty much like bare because it's been winter, and totally restarted it. Got some new plants from a local garden store. Like, gardeners are still open, so that's like a cool thing. And we like planted a whole bunch of herbs, a whole bunch of peppers, some tomatoes, and taught Wes some stuff about plants and how to garden. And he, of course, had way too fun just spraying the hose everywhere. But that's sort of like simple, like mechanical working with your hands to do something, or like we've done Play-Doh, other stuff where it's just like it's not, you can kind of disconnect yourself from your like heady like stress anxiety space into something that's just simple. I think your puzzle is probably very similar, Keith, right? It's like something like mechanical, it's tactile, it maybe doesn't necessarily have like an element of productivity to it, although at the end I did have a garden, and at the end you will have a finished puzzle. But it's like
I will have something that I will tear apart and put back into its box.
yeah. That's what
I
it's
agree.
like for me.
Yeah, I like having the puzzle. I like having things. And I think today or this weekend I was thinking, like, what can I do? What can I, I taught Becky to juggle. You'll see that in next week's vlog, hopefully. And we're like doing things, and then I thought, like, how can I give myself projects that I'm legitimately excited about? So this week I'm going to try to build a miniature golf course, which is something I used to do as a child that like gave me joy. So I'm going to try to build one in my house. I've got like giant Jenga. So I've got a bunch of, wooden blocks I can create barriers with. I've got some benches, some chairs, thinking about how I can do it. And then I think I want to do like a broadcast like it's the US Open. And it's me versus Becky, and we're the top 2 golfers in the world. And
now you kind of brushed past this, but you built miniature golf courses as a kid, like full on, right?
Yeah. I mean, not every hole had AstroTurf, right? Like some of them did. I couldn't afford it for all of them. But one hole was entirely made from moss that I scraped off of rocks from the stream that was like 4 blocks from my house. So I would like go collect a bunch of moss and then just walk it back and put it down. And then I'd go back and collect more moss. And it took like weeks to build this one. But I was very proud of it because it was all moss.
Was that for a birthday party that you threw?
Yes, so it was like 12th birthday party, and I made a 9-hole miniature golf course in my backyard through my woods. And then the day of my party, it rained, and we had to cancel.
No!
You hate to see
we had to cancel the party, but for the rest of the,
you hate to see that.
it was sad. I had gone to Play It Again Sports. I had picked up like 5 putters. I picked up like 5 balls. I had spray painted the balls different colors so that we would I was trying to create the experience, right? And then it rained and we couldn't do it. But, after that, anytime anyone came over, it was like we had a miniature golf course. It was just like what fun you could have as like, preteen, teenage boys just playing miniature golf for free. It was fun.
We've lost the ability to be that level of bored as a society where you go like, I'm going to spend 6 weeks building a mini golf course in my backyard. That's shit that like, I don't know. I love that stuff in childhood. Those are the best memories that you could never fathom doing today.
Yeah, it was like your summer project.
Yeah.
No.
Everybody had like a summer project where it was like some people would like maybe they make a clubhouse in the woods or like stuff like that. Mine was a miniature golf course. I did want to actually turn this conversation into have any of you guys, before this time been quarantined, been isolated, been trapped in a space by choice or otherwise, and what did you do at that time in your life? Because we were probably a lot younger and different, relationships and stuff like that. I know I have some stories, but
why don't you kick it off, Keith?
Okay,
I think
cool.
that's a great. Yeah, so we'll dive back into the quarantines and isolations of yesteryear. See if we can pick out any nuggets of wisdom from it.
So this was not a quarantine, but it felt very similar because it was my senior year of college, and myself and my friend who was a sophomore named Nick Kloss, but we called him Klossio. We decided we would not go anywhere for spring break. We were going to save our money, and the 2 of us stayed in our apartment for that whole week. And like everyone else had gone, we thought people would stay and hang out. No. Everybody left town. Felt like it was just us in the whole town. So we built a colossal pillow fort in our living room. This is a great idea. Obviously, super dope to have a pillow fort. And then we thought we'll need food. Instead of buying groceries, why don't we just buy one of those meter long in diameter pizzas? And we bought a giant pizza and got it delivered. And then we cut it into chunks and put it in bags in the fridge, so we only had pizza and we only had beer.
Everything you did in college was just, what's the dumbest, goofiest, what's the joke I can do? I need to eat. What's the best joke of how to eat?
Yes. Yeah. Well, it was also very economical. We were like,
true.
well, this will last us the whole week and it's delicious. It's pizza. Yeah. But the best part of the story is that we were like day drinking, hanging out, having a good time. Maybe we were smoking a little weed. I don't know. It wasn't legal yet. But we were in the fort, and I think Klossio had just a little too much to drink, and he started to feel nauseous. But of course, we were inside of a pillow fort.
Oh, no.
It's hard to move around in a pillow fort. But he was next to the window of our apartment, so he instead opened the second story window, leaned his head out the window, and threw up out the window of a pillow fort, which luckily it was spring break. There was nobody there to see it. And then like when everybody like came back the next week, they're like, what's that big stain on the wall? We're like, don't know, man. I couldn't tell you. We tried like pouring bowls of water
Oh, it dripped down the
onto
side of the wall. Oh no.
It was disgusting. And this happened on like day 2. No. So of course he didn't want to eat pizza anymore because he had thrown it up. So I had to eat the rest of the pizza all week. And it was, it didn't feel like quarantine. It felt like quarantine. It wasn't quarantine, but we sort of quarantined ourselves and decided we would live in this fort that whole week. And we kept the fort up the whole week. It was fun. We obviously tore it down, made some additions, did a lot of contracting. We, created a better porch at some point. It was really fun.
So what sort of structural solutions did you come up with? I'm very interested in some of the engineering aspects of the pillow fort because I tried to make a big pillow fort and just last week, and it was actually pretty tough.
Yeah, well, you need you need something to give you height in the center.
Right. You need the circus tent, giant center pole type of moment. So we attached sheets to a AC vent on the ceiling. And it sort of worked, but I felt like it was not good for the AC vent. And definitely they came down a couple times. So did you have a giant broom or a tetherball pole that just happened to be inside your house?
You aren't going to believe what we had in our apartment. In the Lego movie when the guy invents the double-decker couch?
Yeah, shut up.
Yeah.
You did
we
not.
literally had that 10 years ago in college.
What?
We had built a double-decker couch. We had taken someone's old bed loft and we put it over a couch. We put another couch on top of it. It was and where our friends worked in the scene shop, they were tech theater people, so they knew how to build stuff. So they built this. We had this giant thing the whole time. So because of that, we already had a thing that was about 5 feet tall that you could put a giant sheet under and create a giant awning. But because of this, I forgot the fort. You could go upstairs on the roof of the second floor of the fort by just going through
your pillow fort had a balcony.
That's so cool.
It was which was great because then when you went up there, you could see the whole top roof from inside, and we'd put lights in there. But that was the truth. Is we had a big double-decker couch, and the rule was always that you weren't supposed to go up there if you were drunk. But it was college. Everybody was up there. I think only someone fell off once.
I would be so concerned to sit underneath it.
Oh, it was so. We all were at first, but it was so safe.
Oh, sweet.
Nothing's ever been safer.
It was a big honking. We were using the 4x4 things as the structure. It had the back cross beams. It was safe.
What is Keith? For people who want to build a pillow fort at home, what is what are the best tips and tricks? What creates a sturdy fort in your home right now?
Okay, well, if you have a piece of furniture like an old couch or benches that you can put on their side so they stand upright, that will give you that giant big wall pillar that you need. Now, obviously, your parents aren't going to want you to do that with your nice couch, but maybe you have an okay couch, or you have a big dining room chair. Those are how I used to make the walls as well. I'd face them, some of them away and some of them forward, so you had little shelves, and sometimes
or maybe
you had recesses.
You're a goddamn adult and you can make your own rules and you can use a nice couch.
I always think you should build it in a carpeted room if you have a carpeted room. It's just you're going to be crawling around on your knees, so just give yourself that. Take the cushions off of the couch. You can still sit on this, and you put blankets where the cushions were, so you can still sit on the basic springs of the couch, but you can use those as exterior walls as well.
So we took off the cushions and then put them by the side of the couch and then put a ball pit inside the little cavity where the cushion was.
I saw that. That was dope. That was huge.
That was probably the best next level moment of it. But everything else, I was like, this is.
In college, I also had a 2,000 ball pit.
Whoa.
Because, me.
2,000 balls. I feel like in my mind, that's a lot bigger than it. How big of a space did it fill up?
Like a 6x4 by 2 foot
small.
deep. You think those you buy a bag of balls and they're only a small duffel in size. So that's 100 balls. So you have to have 20 duffels, and that's not that much space ultimately.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
So that means the big fill up your whole house is 20,000 balls.
Oh my God. When they do that,
100,000 balls.
It's very hard to source those. I don't know where they're buying them because
I've checked.
back in the day, before the internet was so amazing, I mean, it was pretty good, but I had to go to Toys R Us's, and I would go to different Toys R Us's in different towns and buy out their entire supply of ball pit balls.
Whoa.
Like, I would go and I would just
Like
clean
you're
them out.
laundering balls for a ball pit.
Yeah, I did it over the summer because I obviously didn't have a ton of money, but most of my money went to ball pit balls.
I'll tell you, as a kid, a good ball pit, nothing in life was better. And I genuinely, at this moment, cannot imagine ever again in my life allowing my future children to go in one. Thinking about all thinking about the cesspool of germs. I'm just talking about, like, this is like, I'm already feeling the residual fear of
You're projecting the COVID-19 concerns onto
absolutely
2023 McDonald's ball pit.
I can hardly imagine like shaking strangers' hands, let alone jumping into a ball of slimy, snotty balls.
So why it's different for me, Zach, is because that was the prevailing theory even when we were kids of like, oh, maybe you shouldn't go in there. It's a lot of germs, but it was so fun.
It's amazing.
So like,
they were like snakes in them.
Getting sick as a kid can build your immunity. So
I'm not worried about the kid. Let my kid, dance in germs. I'm worried about him bringing him back to me. I don't let the kid go nuts in it. I've built up that immune system.
They used to have ball pits in the parks that were outside.
Oh,
and in the South, I remember there were snakes and spiders in them. They were like news stories about like kids getting bit by snakes in the ball pit of the McDonald's, and there were always spiders. In the outside ones, covered in spiders.
I remember
never thought about that.
In our kindergarten, I remember once somebody said that there was a body in the sandbox, and so we kept digging to see if we could find the body. But I was so concerned. I was like, are we going to find a body in the sandbox?
Okay, one more thing about ball pits. Do you remember you would go to I always went to the Burger King ball pit. They had a primo double-decker, 2-story, multiple chambers. It was dope. But you would always get in there, and there was one kid. You didn't know anybody, but quickly roles were self-assigned. And one kid was like, I'm the bad guy. And it was unspoken. But you knew that kid, his job was just to fucking pelt you with balls and just be a nuisance. And then everyone else was like, we gotta take this dude down. And then your dad would be like, Zach, it's time to go. And you're like, Dad, we've almost defeated him. Yeah. You're like, all right, later, man. Good playing.
And then there's just a 3-year-old in one of the tubes crying. You're crawling, you see it, they're like, no, I can't go that way. I gotta go some other way.
And then you go through the little bubble and you bang on it, you go, Dad, I'm in the bubble. It's me, I'm in the bubble.
I mean, I loved the Discovery Zone DZ.
Yes.
And I think it's making a resurgence. It's coming back.
Oh, it is?
I think this year's going to really tank its coming back efforts. But it was going to be coming back.
Are there adult jungle gym places you can go that are big obstacle courses like that?
You can go and break your arm as an adult, bro?
Yeah, dude. Yeah. I guess there's this.
I wish.
Get them disability checks.
I've been trying to recapture that high ever since childhood. So if anyone knows,
I feel like for adults they do the trampoline places, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a friend who broke his leg. Yeah, they're really dangerous. Everybody.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't have laughed, but
no. But
I was just saying a joke about going to something that was fun like that and breaking her.
No, they're crazy dangerous. You sign a thing that's if I die, it's fine, and I can't say that you guys it was your fault. You sign the whole thing, and then people get hurt all the time.
I was trapped in the closet, I guess.
Well, metaphorically or
that counts.
But everyone
that counts.
Yeah, I don't know. Everyone knows that story, so it's not very interesting.
Have you ever been trapped in an actual literal closet, though?
I don't know. I don't know if I've actually been trapped in a literal closet. I voluntarily hid in closets a lot. Yeah, one time I was a kid and I was leading my neighbor home, and it was an icy day, and she was walking across the street with me to get her mittens back out of my car, and I jump over this spot of black ice, and as I turn to say, hey, watch out for, I hear a and I turn, and as I turn, and we're 8, she slips and she slips forward. Her hands go out and she lands directly on her front teeth on the concrete. And she lands and all 4 of her front teeth fly out of her mouth. These are her new adult teeth.
No, they're her adult teeth. She had just gotten.
they just gotten them, and she I remember
her teeth did.
Yeah, it was the first moment where like time stood still. I was standing there staring at her. I remember one of the teeth like ricocheted off of my body, and I just there's this like everything, time, space, nothing moved, and then she stared at me. The blood just exploded out of her gums, and then she just cried bloody murder, which was a siren call for all the parents in the neighborhood. They all like jumped out of their houses, ran to her, and all I could do, I sprinted to my little sister's closet and I hid in there, and I was in there for like 6 hours because my parents couldn't find me. And when they found me, I'd been wearing a scarf, and I had pulled apart the scarf by every fiber and was rocking back and forth. And yeah, that was the day she decided she wanted to become a dentist.
Wait, that girl? That girl went on to become a dentist?
Yeah, she became a dentist after that.
That's like
so
funny.
That's like actually an unexpected, like heartwarming ending.
Yeah, that made it sweet.
Wow, what a lovely story, Eugene.
No,
How
it's
sweet.
horrible, but like that's why dentists are so incredibly helpful, is because when something terrible like that happens, they can help make it better. I think that's actually kind of cool.
Well, I think she
her
decided
childhood
that
trauma and channeled it into a lifetime of trying to fight that trauma.
She did though. They basically first tried to glue in her real teeth back in. So through middle school, they were like this off shade of gray. So every time I saw her, she'd smile and I'd be like, "Oh God!" And both my sisters always said like, "Oh, remember when you traumatized our neighbor for life? Oh, do you remember? Like that's your fault." So
wait, how was it your fault?
Because I didn't tell her fast enough.
And children.
Because I like jumped over it and I turned and I was like, "Watch out for that!" And then boom, she like George's the jungle bit.
That ain't your fault.
So that was the first time I was in a physical closet.
Wow, wow. I was not expecting such a traumatic story when we were asking, "What's your ball pit experience?"
I wasn't expecting that either.
Break her face.
I mean,
open
that's
on
like
the concrete.
We were talking about, there's these scary news stories of somebody having something horrible happen to them, and that was the scary news story.
Eugene, I love that almost all your stories, and they're my favorite because they almost all are Goosebumps stories. Like they end with you like rocking back and forth. Oh,
yeah,
boy. I love it.
I think that was the beginning of my lifelong issue with my teeth falling out.
Sure,
I've mentioned before I hate the idea of it.
Oh yeah,
but yeah, I can just still vividly remember seeing them hit the concrete, and they all just went first forward out of her mouth, and then they ripped out of her gums.
Jesus!
It's like
the neighbors were looking for them in the bushes.
My God.
Yeah.
Holy shit!
But you guys have seen pretty gruesome injuries as a kid, right? Like they happened all the time.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Probably Keith and Ned, you were in sports, and Keith, you were in the South, so it's like a thing. I don't know if you did, Zach, but
one happened to me. That's probably the closest I ever came to quarantine. Was I broke my leg playing soccer in high school in 9th grade.
Oh,
in like kind of the spring. Like my leg snapped.
Oh!
I could see it was like, it went from being like this to like this. Like you could see it was like not right. It didn't break the skin. That's truly horrifying. And for anyone that has had that happen, I'm so sorry. But here I am. They take off my shin guard. I'm looking at my leg. I'm like, ah! Like it suddenly goes from being a straight thing to like a kind of angled thing, and it was real bad. I couldn't leave my room or my house for months. Really, I was basically confined to my bed for about 2 weeks while the swelling went down.
Like Rear Window. Did you see anybody, your neighbors, murdering their wives or anything like that?
Oh, Rear Window style. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's funny. I did. So that was like the time where I had my education in like theater, film, because I just watched a whole bunch of movies. I watched Rear Window during that time for the first time. I watched a whole bunch of Shakespeare movies, like basically every live action Shakespeare movie. And I had never really done theater or film or anything before that. But then afterwards, I started like auditioning.
You know what?
What?
Fuck yeah. This is because right now everyone's like, I'm in my home and I'm bored and there's nothing to do. First of all, you should count yourself lucky that the worst thing right now is that you're a little bit bored, all right? That is a fucking blessing in the world. But also, you have access to everything that has ever been made, ever. And we're all talking about, like, did you watch Love is Blind? Did you watch the newest thing on Netflix? You should watch Tiger King. But we should come up with a list. Also watch Tiger King. We should come up with a list of essential movies and TV show viewing.
This could be
is
your
the time.
education in classic cinema, and
Hell yeah.
It totally altered the course of my life and got me to where I am now. I would not
just
be
like the dentist story.
recording a podcast. It's in a different way, but yes, it's true. It's true.
Huh. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, traumas redirect your life in pretty meaningful ways.
When I was back at school that fall, I couldn't do sports. I was still like walking around in an ankle boot, and then even once I got the ankle boot off, I couldn't do sports for another 6 months. So I was in my first play. I was an extra in Othello. I had like 3 lines of like, "My lord, they have come for thee."
I just remembered one other quick story, very funny, about when I ran into a closet. Was when do you guys know those standing exercise bikes?
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people have standing exercise bikes. Maybe back in like the 90s, they were a little more janky. And do you know when you used to ride with one foot on one side standing and kind of go around?
Yeah.
Like you're not on it. You're not straddling it.
And you just fucking...
You're just kind of riding with one foot on it.
Yeah.
So you're going up and down just with both feet or one foot on one pedal.
Great game.
Yeah.
So I did that all the time. And my little sister, who was younger than me, was watching. And she was like, "Oh, I want to try." And I was like, "Yeah, do it this way." She starts doing it, and then I would sometimes like flip backwards while I was doing it. And I was like, "Okay, try to flip backwards, like while I'm like mid spin." And she does it.
Flip backwards.
So kind of like when you're standing forward, like kind of flip this way so you can jump on the other side. You're basically just turning backwards.
Okay.
So she's trying to jump
rotation, like a front
rotation,
flip. I was like, whoa.
And you can like straddle the bike backwards basically and get on the other side. She tries to do it. And she was barefoot, and her toes got stuck in what are they called? The bars of the bike.
No,
and
funny.
This was one of the worst.
Be funny. I'm waiting for the haha moment.
She didn't. No, hey, listen. She didn't break her toes, but 3 of her toenails, incling the big toenail, were ripped.
That's worse, Eugene.
Ripped off clean.
Eugene.
It was. I think this was. Was this after? No, this was before my neighbor's tooth incident, and it was the first time I heard a scream of that like level of pain. And I remember like seeing her big toenail with flesh dangling off of it, like stuck in the gear of the bike.
Oh my God.
And then I remember that was the first time I ran, and it was her. Ironically, it's her closet, so I ran to her closet and hid in there because I felt so guilty. She did not become a toe doctor, but
oh my God.
Wow.
Yeah, that was the first time I was in the closet.
This podcast is so funny, and so often I think our viewers are like, "I wish Eugene would talk more," and now Eugene is talking, everybody's like, stop.
Oh, I love it. It is perfect.
So good. It's so
funny.
up. I've had nails get bruised and look gross and they grow out, but I've never had one ripped off. That is one of my greatest fears. I don't want to deal with that.
I agree.
I know people who have them, ripped off, and they say like it's scary at first, but it's actually not the worst thing in the world. Or sometimes like you injure it, and the doctor just tells you.
A true fear of mine, though. I
off.
agree.
Yeah.
Nothing. It like is a deep like crawls under my skin, unsettles me. I don't think that my previous quarantine stories can top that. So maybe I just don't even try.
I do have something else I wanted to bring up because this is the first week where we're doing 2 podcasts in the week. So, listeners going to be like, well, I'm used to listening to one. Why do I want to listen to both? Well, let me tell you why I want to listen to both. Today, I am conducting an experiment on my body. Now, for the last, for maybe, I guess 5 or 6 years, I have stopped eating eggs. Because I believe that eggs rip my guts apart. Now, just not as not like eggs and pancakes or eggs and cake. Those seem to be fine, but eating eggs, like having eggs and bacon and stuff, rips my guts apart. Now, I haven't had eggs in so long, and I'm not sure now if was I eating eggs that were just cooked in copious amounts of butter? Were there other cheese things that were going on in that dish? So I am today going to eat a normal fried egg with potatoes and like toast and stuff. So a normal breakfast to see if my guts are torn apart. And now
wow.
the reason I don't do it is because normally it gives me terrible stomach cramps and like I'm in pain, not just I have to poop bad, but my stomach hurts. So that's why I don't do it, because I'll eat pizza and I know it's gonna fuck me up, but it's delicious and it won't be that bad. But eggs, it is that bad. So I'm gonna see for sure if I can have eggs or not. So this is big for me.
This is
I'm
huge.
I'm very excited
This is
because I
cool.
love eggs.
Yeah.
I'm so hungry for an egg.
I'm so excited for you.
I love
what
eggs.
a wonderful experiment.
How do you know that you love eggs if you can't?
I used to eat eggs.
Okay.
So
when did
I
it
used to eat
stop?
eggs.
What was the switch?
There was this one day I remember that I had like eggs Benedict, which of course there's a ton of butter in that. But it was that plus my brother Brian has trouble with eggs. So I thought I was having such a bad time. Maybe I'm getting the age where I'm getting my brother's situation too, and
I'm getting the egg disease.
And Becky's like, maybe you should do egg whites. And I'm like, I don't fucking eat eggs. See, I can eat egg whites. Okay? I want that yolk. I
Yeah,
want
you want
that
the yolk.
delicious.
Yeah.
I want it running across my avocado toast. I want it gently splashing across my potatoes. I want the egg experience. To me, it's not worth having eggs if I can't have the whole thing.
Well, I'm very excited for you, and I'm excited for an update of your indigestion.
Guys, what if I'm fine? Because I always have to like, when I'm at like restaurants that have like fried rice or have like pad thai or stuff, I have to be like, could you have no eggs in that? And everybody at the table's like,
Yeah.
I'm like, I know. And then I just ordered it and I would just eat around the eggs, which is
Should
difficult.
I just
but-
chug a bunch of milk and see what happens?
Hey,
Yeah.
fun body experiment.
Tune in on Thursday to see if Keith, the egg experiment works. And as always, guys, subscribe. If you haven't subscribed yet, what are you doing? Mash that subscribe button. Rate us 5 stars to help
Mash
other
it.
people discover the podcast. And right now, we are donating 10 meals to a food bank for every order placed on tryguys.com. So check it out. See if there's anything you like to help make your quarantine a little cozier. Please stay inside if you can. Disinfect those surfaces. Wear those gloves.
That's great advice, Dad, but it's not the fucking advice I'm looking for today. Miles, give me some fucking advice, baby!
That'll go for
It's advice that'll go for miles. Tune into
is he
your
already doing the whole song?
station.
Going for
It's
it,
advice
yeah.
that'll go for
Miles, when you play the
miles.
theme song, we
Everyone
don't-
get ready.
Miles Nation.
We can't-
can't hear it,
Go to the
Miles.
bathroom.
Yeah,
No,
you
but we can
probably
see him drumming.
Nation.
I can see him drumming.
Can't hear it. Advice that'll go for miles.
Advice that'll go for miles.
Oh, here we
Here
go.
we go. I
He's-
like this change.
He's got a
What's
yellow
up,
beanie
Miles
on now.
Nation? How y'all doing tonight?
Feeling good.
Have you ever wanted to be a bird? Have you ever wanted to eat a shrimp that is a plant?
Huh. Okay.
Crabs are animals in the animal kingdom, but guess what's not? A plant.
Okay.
Oily, salty, good and garlicky, butter in my body. Give me an A.
A.
Hey.
Give me an R.
R.
Give me a T.
D.
Give me an I.
Artichoke.
Give me
Artichoke.
a C.
Artichoke. We got it. We got it. No, you can stop spelling it. We got it.
Give me an O.
Oh.
Give me a K.
Okay.
Ah.
Give me an A.
Hey.
I know you're all wondering on the seat of your tongue, what could I be talking about?
Wait, are you saying that artichoke tastes like seafood?
My
Is that
God.
what you were implying?
No, it was eat artichoke. And here's why. Artichoke gives you the busy work of crab, but it's
Oh, I see, I see.
plant. and if you make an artichoke, you can eat little leaves. You eat the leaves and you suck them on your teeth like a big boy. And then you get to the center and you get a soft, little, tender lobster tail of artichoke.
It is a good time wasting food, you know. We all need ways to fill the void of time, and artichoke is a pain in the ass to eat.
Oh my God! Why aren't you just getting marinated artichoke hearts in a jar? They're the same cost as a single artichoke. They're way more delicious. They're ready to eat. You can put them on pizza. They're so good.
No, Keith, it's about the experience.
Yeah,
Why
I
are
like
you
the
not
steamed
just getting a
artichoke,
whole jumbo lump crab? No, because you like cracking the little legs open.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really gives you the artichoke is vegan crab, and it should be treated as such. But we made artichoke yesterday for dinner, and we boiled it in butter and salt and garlic, and then we chowed down with an aioli that was fine.
Oh, I mean, anything gonna taste.
I feel like
good
when I
with
eat
all that.
artichokes like that, I put it in my mouth. I'm like, oh, I don't. Was I supposed to eat that one? I don't know. There's a bunch you don't know.
It's a mystery. You don't know what's for food and what's for outside. Also, follow me on Twitch.
Miles has been doing Twitch streams, but his internet isn't able to handle it, so it's just these giant pixelated, choppy messes of a thing.
To be fair, so I've posted a couple cut downs on my Twitter feed, and the times when it does it, it only did that for like 5 minutes, and other than that, it was fine because I got the settings figured out. But I figured the video was fine. Well, I did it for an hour, so out of an hour, it's only
pretty good.
Not so much. But I'm getting fiber optic internet to deal with the problem, so that I can be a Twitch superstar like Ninja, and Red Bull can build me a streaming academy.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard Red Bull's trying to up their advertisement right now. So.
Yeah, I also heard.
People need energy to go out and party.
We're paying for that fiber optic internet, right?
No, but you should be.
Oh.
Miles, what if we transferred your salary to Twitch donations from here
It's
on
all
out?
in bits. You just
Yeah. So we're
bits.
gonna cease your salary, but I'm gonna go in and watch every stream and just donate and be like, "Whoa, way to go, dude!
Hey!
Sick kill!"
I was told by somebody tweeted at me that like because of like I've been doing these streams, if I just do it a couple more times, I'm gonna be a Twitch affiliate. Because of the people that have been tuning in, because they're very nice people are coming and watching, and they're a hoot. So
What is the threshold? What's the
it's
number?
low. It's like super low. You have to do it for a certain amount of hours, and you only need to average it's like 5 viewers at a time. But it just is like then you can start making money off it if you do it a bunch.
Dude, you know what's crazy is that Miles's janky Twitch stream is more successful than Ned's 10-year newsletter. That's crazy.
Wow.
He's been slaving away for 10 years trying to get that thing through.
Well, this has been another episode of TryPod. We'll see you next time. Keith, hit us with the official TryPod theme song.
Are you at home all by yourself and you don't know what to do? Just take your couch and put it on its side and build a house inside your house. Build a house in your house. It's the TryPod.
And then your teeth fly out and blood squirts everywhere.
Oh, God, no. Not that type of callback. Until next time, stay beautiful.